Hey, what is going on, everybody? So today we're going to be diving into a PvP build. We're actually going to play some PvP first so we get you guys a clip. But before we do that, I'm feeling kind of drained today. So let me get some advanced GG. Ooh, what is this? Strawberry lemonade. We're gonna drink a little bit of this real quick. Get hyped. Grab one little scoop. Ooh, pop it in there. So we're gonna drink a little bit of this and get into the game. Ooh. I need some energy, guys. I need some energy. Let me sip on this while we get into our first game. Oh, this actually tastes pretty good.
A few moments later.
Serious trauma detected. That agent needs assistance. Rogue striker drone detected. System malfunctioning. System back online.
A specialization supply drop has been arranged.
Yo! No! These dudes! Bro! What the?
That agent needs assistance.
You're the only one left on your team, Agent. Keep fighting.
This guy.
Whoever is left standing wins.
Don't run.
Nice.
There we. So a lot of you guys might be asking, hey, what build was that Skillz was running? Well, if you guys watch my stream, we talk about it a lot during the stream, so you guys can watch me live. Big shout out to Advanced GG, my partner, for sponsoring this video. If you guys want to try them out, use skills at checkout. There will be a link in the description, and the first pinned comment will be from Advanced GG. So let's get into the build. So for the specialization, you guys want to use a technician class. The main reason why is because it allows you to use the link laser pointer on your long-railed weapon. So if you guys want to use the Police M4, if you guys want to use the Carbine 7, or even if you want to use the FAL, I personally use the Police M4 because I just feel like the higher rate of fire actually works a little bit better with the build. And that is the main reason why you guys will be running the technician class. So for my weapon, I'm only worried about the primary. The secondary, you can put whatever. I usually have the Eagle Bird just for show, and it just sits on my back because I like how it looks, but obviously you can put whatever you want here. Personally, I like the Police M4. It's the one that has the long barrel that allows me to use the link laser pointer and still be able to put out a lot of damage. If you look on this build, I'm running 94,000, almost 95,000 damage, 850 RPM, 50 round mag. We have assault rifle, we have health damage, and then we have 10% damage to targets out of cover, and then we have in sync. Hitting an enemy grants 15% skill damage for 5 seconds. Now using a skill or damaging an enemy skill grants 15% weapon damage. And remember, this is all doubled. So I could be hitting 30% extra weapon damage and having 30% extra skill damage. Now, if we just toggle real quick to PvP stats so you guys can see, same thing, doesn't change there. Now, like I said, for the optics, we're going to be running the 5% crit chance. For the magazine slot, we'll be running the 20 round bags. For the underbarrel, that's where we run the link laser pointer. And what that allows you to do is proc spotter on your chest piece. And then we have the muzzle for the critical hit chance. If we take a quick look at the stats before we get into the build, I'm running 54% crit chance, almost maxed out. 167% crit damage, almost maxed out. I think I'm 0.1% off, because I think I can max this build out to 168. And then headshot damage is 75%, armor damage 8%, and then we have 18% damage to targets out of cover. Plus we have 20% health damage. So a lot of damage on this build. The crit chance, crit damage is really what makes this build work. And then once you guys get the talents going along with it, you'll see in a second why we hit so hard and why we're able to melt players so quick. So for the mask, we went with the Walker and Harris. This gives us that 5% weapon damage. We have weapon damage, critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and we have a critical hit damage mod on there. So the 0.1% that I'm missing for the max out is right there, but we will get this fully maxed out. And we went with the Walker Harris for the extra 5% weapon damage. And then for the chest, we have the Fenris chest piece for the 10% assault rifle damage. We have weapon damage, critical hit damage, critical hit chance, and a critical hit damage mod. Now, why Spotter's so good with weapon damage is it amplifies total weapon damage and skill damage by 15% to pulse enemies. That's what the Link laser pointer does for us. So it allows us to run a striker drone, it allows us to run any other skill damage that we want, along with amplifying our total weapon damage. That's why having pieces that give you weapon damage, it really helps out with Spotter. So the more total regular base weapon damage you have, it gets amplified with Spotter. For the holster, we're running the Chesko holster for the 10% crit chance. We have 14.6% weapon damage, we have 12% critical hit damage, and then we have 6% critical hit chance. For the knee pads, we went with the Name Fox Parrot knee pads. Now, it gives us 10% rifle damage, but we're not taking advantage of that. But we are rolled armor on here. We're taking advantage of the multiplicative 8% damage to targets out of cover, and then we have 12% critical hit damage. For the gloves, we have the Name Contractor gloves, which are the Petrov Name gloves, and it has 10% LMG damage, which we're not taking advantage of, but the multiplicative of the 8% damage to armor is worth it. We have armor rolled on here, and then we have 12% critical hit damage. So already we have 2 armor rolls on this build. And then for the backpack, we went to a Goodwill Soma backpack with the 15% critical hit damage. We have 15% weapon damage, 6% critical hit chance, 12% critical hit damage, and another maxed out critical hit damage mod. Now we have a vigilance on here. Increased total weapon damage by 25%. Taking damage disables this buff for 4 seconds. So anytime we have this active, that increases our total weapon damage by 25%. And when we have vigilance active and spotter proc, that's why we're hitting so hard on this build. A lot of base weapon damage, and then when you amplify that, you just hit so much harder. And then when you have things with high crit chance, crit damage, you can just see where a lot of the damage is coming from. And a great way to keep vigilance active is by running the Crusader Shield. So I know a lot of you guys don't like running shields, but that's what the Crusader Shield is there for. Because a lot of times players aim for the shield and not the head. So for a split second, that's all you really need. You can put out that vigilance damage, right? So if you can have vigilance proc with spotter, a lot of really good damage there. And with the Crusader Shield being tier 3, because we do have a technician class that gives us 1 yellow plus 2 blues, it holds up pretty well, and it stands up to a beating, and you can actually use the police M4 with this shield. And then I do the striker drone. I think it's really good. You just send it out there. It's automatically proccing striker. It kind of like annoys the player a little bit. They got to focus on it, or they just got to let it keep hitting it. I personally like it to proc in sync, but you can also proc in sync every time you pop your Crusader Shield. So both of these really good. You could actually switch whatever you want. One thing I will tell you, I do not run the pulse at all, right? I never run the pulse. And the reason why is because the cooldown time in Conflict is crazy. So it's almost better just to run the drone, the striker shield, and that's your build right there. But as you guys saw, this build is absolutely a monster, and I'm having a ton of fun playing it. This is my go-to Conflict. This is the build that I hit 17 kills in the last video on my other channel if you guys watch that. But yeah, if you guys want to see me live, you guys can check me out on twitch.tv/NothingButSkillz. We've been grinding Conflict. We're trying to go for the 100 Conflict, so that way we can unlock the Conflict outfit. So it's one thing I never did. So we're at 65 right now. We're hitting the road. Hopefully we can knock this out. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Hopefully you guys enjoy the build. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll see you in the next one. But until then, hey, NothingButSkillz out.